Hi there, and welcome to Ian's Engage channel. I'm Ian. In a previous video, after some operational testing, I showed why I decided to alter the track plan to accommodate both better marshalling of wagons in the Ledgetown Quarry area and to allow shallower gradients between the front and back of the layout. In this video, I'm going to show how the track plan has been further evolved to hopefully help future-proof the layout. And talking of future-proofing, this is the first video I've uploaded in 4K resolution, and I'm hoping that all future uploads will also be in 4K. So, what you've been looking at while I've been rambling on is the manifestation of version 26 of the track plan. However, after going through the operational testing process, I decided to change this and had come up with version 29 of the plan, which is what is now on screen. Those who have followed my progress will know that I've had a very long-term plan to allow trains to leave the train room and go into Fiddletown, which will be situated in another room, and will be where I'll store the majority of my stock eventually. However, what I've never considered was how I'd extend Shelfington into my office space if space were ever to become available. As I was currently at the point of committing myself to the track plan, it would be a shame if I'd have to destroy work in the future to accommodate further expansion. So this is how I've decided to proceed. With version 29 of the plan, you can see that there's a siding at the back left of the layout. I'd initially created this to hold a DMU off-scene that would shuttle back and forth between the siding and Shelfington Station. However, what if I could extend this siding and bring it around to the front of the baseboard? This would give a possible route onto a new baseboard in the future. To achieve this, I would have to shift the double loops, marshalling yard, Mantlethorpe Station, Ledgetown Quarry, basically everything a smidge to the right, and then there would be room to bring the siding around to the front. So, after a few full starts, we can now see the beginnings of version 32 of the plan, which is now on screen. To supplement the siding, at the front of the layout we can also add a point coming off the outside loop, and this can also be used to transition onto the new baseboard in the future. You can see that everything remains broadly similar other than a few changes to Shelfington Goods Yard. I'll quickly explain these now. Firstly, there's an area where a TMD can be modelled, which is something I've been trying to figure out the location of for a while. Secondly, there's now an area where a goods platform can be positioned, with track in place to allow locos to run around their train. And thirdly, and probably the biggest change in this area, I've removed the route that joined up Shelfington Goods Yard to the main line east of the station. This effectively allows me to keep Shelfington Goods Yard all on one level. Anyway, going back to the part of the plan that will aid in future expansion, let's expand the view to show possible available space. Now, my thinking is that the modified siding will move onto a new narrow 9-inch baseboard. The new baseboard needs to be narrow as access to the windows that are immediately above it will still be required. Once onto the narrow baseboard, the siding immediately fans out into a 4-lane fiddle yard, which will probably be hidden behind a new scenic breakboard. The fiddle yard will be elevated and at the same level as the rear of the main Shelfington baseboard. The good news is that this small fiddle yard will buy me some time before Fiddletown needs to be implemented. Meanwhile, the point that comes off the outside loop enters a new station serving an area called Sill Harbour. This will be at a lower level than the fiddle yard behind it. So, that's all fine and lovely, job done, and we could leave everything as it is at this point. However, I couldn't help but speculate and add another baseboard, which is where my computer desk currently resides, and I'm currently sitting. If this were another baseboard though, we can have a nice area to do some more scenic work. So, my thinking is that if we continue through the Sill Harbour station, we transition onto a second new baseboard and wind around Sill Harbour itself. This would be where a ferry handled arrivals and departures for the station and could maybe provide an area for small fishing boats to reside. Continuing past the harbour, we can loop around what I'm calling Sill Hill, which could be a forested area or something similar. We can then loop back around the rear of Sill Hill and through another scenic breakboard and climb up to the level of the fiddle yard. We then move through the fiddle yard and back onto the original baseboard, where we rejoin the main loops in the hidden sidings behind Mantlethorpe Station. It all sounds jolly exciting. Okay, so here's an annotated image showing how I envisage everything eventually coming together. As you can see, this will not only present me with a fantastic modelling challenge that will keep me busy potentially for years, but will also open up a whole new set of possibilities for operations between various stations now situated on the layout. Well, I hope you found these plans interesting, as I'm very excited about them, even though it will be quite a while before they start to come into fruition. I thought it was important to plan ahead now though, as otherwise there would be no easy way to transition off the Shelfington baseboards without ripping up existing track and future scenery. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And okay, so that's about it for this update. If you've got any hints, tips, useful tools or techniques to pass on to a beginner in N-Gage modelling, or if you simply want to say hello, then please do so in the comments section. Anything and everything you've got to say will be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully I'll have another update on my progress soon. Bye.